This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Megas, and this is a kind of somber video because I just saw some news about a content creator by the name of Etika. Now, I'm not familiar with this work. I've never watched the brother's stuff, but he appeared on the news. In the news, CNN, they talked about him. He has over 130,000 followers and has a good following on YouTube. He does video game content. And he went missing a few days ago. Well, just saw a alert from CNN on social media that says that the New York Police Department has put out a statement saying that they found the body of this 29-year-old young man in a river. And apparently on his channel he had posted some content, his most recent video in particular, in which he seemed to be having suicidal thoughts. And it's just a shame to see such a young person who, like, I'm sure from the outside looking in, a lot of us probably would think, yo, this guy's having, some success. He's being successful at doing content creation. He has over 100,000 followers. He gets that plaque from YouTube signifying that, healthy viewership. From what I understand, he seems to be pretty popular. What happened? And that's the thing, especially with us content creators. A lot of people don't realize that just because you have some success at doing this thing, just because you garner attention, people respect you, like your content, things like that, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily happy from that success. There's so many things that go on in your life in the background that people are unaware, especially in this type of field, because content creating is in an entertainment field. It's like music, acting, sports, things like that. And in particular, it's kind of funny, but people who are in this kind of industry, the entertainment industry, in an industry in which your goal is to kind of entertain and please people, people totally forget how deep things can be for you, how troubling things can be, because they only see your face. They only see the face that you put on for your content. Some of us do try to be as personable as possible and kind of give you an insight, but even then, there are things that you won't know because, rightfully so, there's certain things that you should keep private. In particular, people have a habit of keeping their torment and pain private from others. And we utilize these things, the YouTube videos, the Twitch streams, the Mixer streams, our Patreon pages where we feature art and our writings and things like that. We use those as means to kind of express ourselves in a way in which we would like to think of our lives to be, or which we would like to be perceived, and not necessarily express those things that are truly going on in our minds, in our lives. You kind of get guarded. You don't want everybody to know, especially in a public setting, if you're an entertainer. That's why you see things that happen, like people always wonder, gosh, Marilyn Monroe, for instance, so successful, famous movies actress, everybody loves her, she's so beautiful, she's so gorgeous, everything's going on in her life, and then she ODs and people are like, what? Why would you do that? You had everything. You don't necessarily have everything just because you have success or because you have attention or because people think of you in a certain way. There's so much that goes on in people's lives that we're unaware of. think back to some of the things that you deal with in your life and how you portray yourself to the public, how much you let other people know about what's going on in your life in general. And you'll realize that, it's not as pristine as people think. We always think like, because you have a well-paying job, you should be happy. Because you have a beautiful girlfriend or boyfriend, you should be happy. Like, there's so much going on that people don't understand or could appreciate about you. And sometimes it leads down this path to where, they haven't officially said it yet, but this brother's probably took his life because he was unhappy with it. And we don't know exactly what it is. But it would be insensitive to sit here and say stuff like, why would you do that? You're successful. You are doing something that you love. Everything. Like, sometimes that's just not always the answer. Sometimes we think it is. And, I say that all the time myself. Like, I would love to do something that I love to do for a living and all that. But I'm not necessarily sure if that's going to be the end all be all. There are just so many other things that work in life that you don't necessarily know what's going to achieve that point of happiness for you sometimes. Some people, it's an easier path to, but for others, it's not. And you have to be very, very understanding and aware of that. You also need to be attentive to the people around you sometimes. I think a lot of times we don't pay attention as much as we think we do. Like, we got a general sense of who we are as well as who the people around us are, but sometimes you don't necessarily know completely, because there's certain things that you will close off to the world, or that people will close off to you, and you kind of fall into a sense of like comfort in things, not knowing what could be going on. So it's kind of insensitive to say, like, I can't believe that someone did this. What would make them do this? Because you don't necessarily know everything that's going on. And, conveying that stuff is very, very hard for a lot of us. Like, speaking our mind, our feelings, because people don't always receive it well. So that makes it difficult for that person. You have to think about that. Like, think about how there was a situation where someone told you something in confidence, and your reaction was, I don't understand, it makes no sense to me, this is not how I would do it, and all that. Thing is, it may not make sense to you, it may not be the way that you do it, but it's the way that they would do it, or the way that they feel. And sometimes we lack understanding, or at least the ability to be understanding. Like, look, you don't have to agree with everything that people go on, but it's kind of good if you try to take it and, learn about it and find a way to, like, understand it. You can have a better conversation if you go at things with an open mind to try to understand. Of course, there's some things in life, some things that people do and say that you're not going to be able to vibe with. It's just a natural thing. But when somebody's outreaching for help for something, you got to be understanding. And, attentive and listen. Being judgmental can be like one of the things that helps lead down the path. And that's the thing with this guy being on YouTube. God knows social media is the most judgmental medium in the world. People don't really seem to have a grasp on context and understanding a lot of times when it comes to stuff on social media. So that noise can, like, cause even more issues. And I'm just very, very curious as to what it was that led to the path that he went. Like, I feel so sorry for this guy, and the people around who truly loves him and appreciate him. Like, no one will never know the, like, true pain and the things that he went through. And it's kind of sad. Like, I just hope that a lot of us will start being more attentive to our mental health. Try to address that issues. You see someone who you think is hurting, try to be understanding and talk to them, and hopefully if you can help them go to a place where they can seek help and understand what's going through them. And it's just so much. I feel so bad for the guy. Damn. Crazy. Yeah. Just make sure you treat everyone that you love and as best as possible, and be there for them if they need you. Seriously, people. But that's about it. I can't ramble on anymore. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.